So the way I look at it, if you take advertising in general, as I said, for 100 rupees sale to be done, about 2% is spent on advertising. But what happens is influencers have a larger reach. So let's take an example, Times of India as an example. Times of India has about readership of 15 million, circulation of about 3 million. They're the largest English language newspaper in the country. Total amount of money they would be making is about, post-COVID, worth 2,000-3,000 crores on advertising. But just imagine today, one single influencer has 50 million reach. If you take the top 1,000 influencers in India, the reach would be hundreds of millions. So imagine the influencer space. The top 1,000 influencers have 50 million, 100 million plus followers. What if they could actually do commerce on behalf of companies? Now, instead of having advertising expense, they would have to share cost of sale. So if you have a 30% margin, they're willing to give 10% of that. So the influencer space is going to become 10x of advertising because it's now a cost of sale. So today, I've invested in a company in UK which does influencer commerce. There are platforms that you can build. Every single influencer should get an opportunity to sell the products that they are passionate about, and you take a share of that sale. So I think the influencer industry, it is going to be a very, very large industry. And let me give you an example of, let's say, Uber and taxi services. When Uber was launched in California, what happened was that the taxi services were $50 million market. And they said, okay, even if Uber takes 25, 30, 50% of the market, it is not going to be very large. But what happened with Uber was that Uber became $200 million in market size. And taxi services went from 50 million to 40 million. So the same thing is going to happen in the influencer space, where the advertising industry is 70,000 crores. Maybe the 70,000 crores will become 60,000 crores, but the influencer space will become few lakh crores. That's what the opportunity is in the influencer space. That's the reason I'm so bullish about it. So the way I look at it, the concept called 1,000 true fans. Today, if you can create content which only 1,000 people will consume every year, and what if each one of them is willing to pay you $100? That will give you 75 lakh rupees of income per year. Can you find 1,000 people who will consume the content you're creating? I think you can. There is a concept called long tail. Chris Anderson wrote this book called The Long Tail. It was a very interesting book. I'm forgetting the author, maybe Chris, but basically what it says is that almost every single interest that you can think of, so if you take top of the interest, we'll have 100 million people who are interested in that. When you go down, even to the most obscure book knowledge of some tribe in Africa, there are 1,000 people in the world who would be very interested in what happens in that tribe. And those people will be willing to pay you $100 a year. So basically, anybody can build a business if they can identify the 1,000 true fans that they have. And then what happens is that 1,000 can become 5,000, become 10,000, and your income can exponentially increase. The problem with publishing world is, publishing world has to cater to hundreds of millions of people. So they have to create general content which the whole population of the country will want to consume. But what happens is that if you require only 1,000 true fans, you can create very niche content. So suppose, let's say I create content, how can organic search companies or paid search companies become successful? Now the thing is, I'm authority in India, I built the largest search company of the country. So obviously, I'm going to have 1,000 people in the country who are interested in what I have to say. Now the thing is, they could only give me a few $100s a year, and I will build a reasonably good education business catering to that 1,000 people, which become 2,000, 5,000, and tomorrow all over the world. This concept of 1,000 true fans can be taken to any area. If you are a master of Excel, you could be teaching people Excel. You could be teaching people anything that you know. Maybe unboxing of games, playing a certain game in a certain way, modern tricks and trade of digital marketing. All of us have certain skill sets. Like my daughter has 300,000 Instagram followers. What if she creates a course on how do you build followers at a young age? Now the thing is that there will be 1,000 people who will be interested in that course. So I think in the digital age, we have this ability to take our expertise and actually communicate it to the rest of the world very effectively. And people are willing to pay for it. If you take 20, 30 years ago, only the large companies had the reach. Today, all of us have the reach. With no code, with less code, you can actually launch a website, you can launch a blog, you can provide content through a video blog, you can have your own YouTube channel, you can go into Instagram. Any one of us can create content, and that content can be distributed across various platforms and make money through it.